Hello and welcome. I am the organizer advisor, your organizational advocate to help you enhance your happiness and transform your life. Welcome to Marvelous Monday. Isn't it a bright day to start the week? We did our Sunday prep steps. We took a little time to relax, rejuvenate, restore ourselves in preparation for this week so that we can set ourselves up for success. And it feels empowering. We're very proactive now, so we have a lot of things in place to help us move through the week in a more flexible and dynamic way. Okay, so today's TOGA. TOGAs are our today's goals and today's organizing goals and activities. So our TOGA today is another area where we can have item overwhelm, and that is magazines. So I figure Monday magazine day, this is kind of thematic organizing or organizing by categories, and also document organization, because sometimes there are things in these magazines that are helpful information that we want to preserve. So there's a couple of things we can do to mitigate the overwhelm, reduce some of the clutter, but still preserve some of the information that we want. So as always, go gather all your magazines in your bin, box, or basket, and then meet me back here and we'll talk about some of the strategies to minimize the clutter with an overwhelm of magazines. Okay, now that we have gone and gathered, the next step, we're going to group. Now, you may have magazines that are just seasonal magazines. You can group them into categories of, if you have craft or specific information like, toy train magazines, or if you have a theme of magazines, they all can go into a specific category or group. So divide your magazines up into your groups, because like if you have a lot of sewing or crafting magazines, you may want to put those in your craft area to really stimulate some ideas. If you have some home decorating magazines, you may want to have those in a different location so that, like, when you sit down with a cup of tea, you can kind of peruse and get some ideas and inspiration for enhancing your home. What about food magazines, cooking magazines? You might want to group those and put them in a kitchen area so that you can flip through a few things and get some ideas there. Magazines have beautiful photographs that really uplift and inspire us. And it gives us creative ideas. It's kind of springboards into our own creative endeavors. So they're very helpful for that. However, we can definitely get overwhelmed when we keep too many. So go ahead and group them by categories. So I call this grouping. So gather, grouping, and then of course the next step is go through. So as you're grouping, you may want to go through and say, okay, I got tons of these decorating magazines. I might want to go through some of those and see if they're still relevant to me. Here is another kind of health and well-being magazine. That's going to be another group. But, is there information in here that I really want? Another health and wellness. So I'm going to go through, oh look, here's a pet magazine. I don't think I'm going to keep this. I might just want to flip through it real quick, see if there's anything relevant that I would need to preserve, but for the most part, this is not going to stay. So once we have grouped and gone through, now we're going to, as we're going through, make the decision of whether or not it's going to stay, whether we're going to preserve it, or whether or not it's going to go. And we'll talk about both of those categories. Okay, so the decorating magazines that I have, let's just say this is my one stack. You can find different ways to display your magazines if you want to preserve them. But if you just have like one article or one photograph in the entire magazine that you want to preserve, you can use your smartphone and take a picture of it, or you can tear that out and scan it, or you don't even have to tear it out, just put it on your computer scanner and scan it. You can actually use the iScan app on your iPhone or a scanner app to be able to kind of scan it and catalog it in a file so that you have that for reference. If there's more to the magazine that you want to keep and the majority of the ideas in there you want to be able to go back and revisit, then that would be a magazine that I preserve. So I'm going to keep it. So you can preserve the entire magazine, or you can document preserve the one or two items in the magazine that you want, but you really don't want to keep the entire magazine. So use your scanner or your phone camera to take a picture, turn them into a document, and then you have that preserved, and then you can go ahead and get rid of the other magazine or purge it. Okay, so now I have my magazines classified or categorized, and I've decided which ones that I am going to get rid of. So now, a couple of caveats on getting rid of magazines. You can recycle them, of course, but magazines can be extremely expensive. Let's see if I have one here that I could show you that is US $15.99. $15. So if you have magazines you would like to not necessarily just throw into the recycle bin, here's a few ideas. Number one, I suggest a magazine swap. Have a girls' night and have your friends for the girls' night bring a beverage and magazines and whatever magazines they have gone through, and have a swap. That way you're going to maximize the investment that you've made on those magazines, because you're going to get something back. Also, you can donate them to nursing homes or schools. Caveat on that: if you have magazines that have personal identifying information, you're going to want to go over that with a black marker so it's not visible, or cut it off. That way none of your personal information is laying in a nursing home where a bunch of visitors are coming and they have now your address, so, and your name. So I just suggest, for your own personal privacy and your privacy security, removing the mailing label from the magazine if you have them mailed to you. So actually, in this case, I can just remove the entire thing and dispose of that, put it in my paper shredder. So those are some suggestions for you in the case that you want to have a good purpose for your magazines instead of tossing them right into the recycling bin. That's the third option. If you just don't have friends that collect magazines and you can't do a girl swap and nobody you know is interested, and you don't want to donate them to a nursing home or a medical facility, or you might want to look into the public library, or also schools. They use magazines for craft projects. So check with your elementary school art teacher. A lot of times they like these to represent vision boards. Okay, so that is our TOGA for today. We're going to fix a nice warm cup of tea, put on some soft music, a little candle, and we're going to go gather, group, and then go through our magazines. We're going to preserve the items in specific magazines that we want using our camera, document scanner, whatever device you are comfortable using, or we're going to preserve the entire magazine. If we're going to purge the magazine, we can do a magazine swap with our friends. It's a great girls' night. And then you can also donate to various organizations, or you can recycle. So find a decorative way to enjoy your magazines. You know, make them inviting and enticing, but if you're going to have them out, have them on display so that they look organized, neat, and they're going to be not just clutter laying on the kitchen counter or the coffee table. Okay, so that is our TOGA for today. Also, just a reminder, it is Marvelous Monday. It is our facial day, so take time for self-care and give yourself a facial. Also, remember to hydrate, exercise 25 minutes. We are up to 25 minutes. We're only going to go to 45, so don't be don't be worried. We have 11 more weeks until we culminate in our total life transformation on December 1st. We have 11 more weeks, but don't worry. We're not going to add 5 minutes every week. We're going to get to about 40 to 45 minutes, and that's about all we're going to do. 30 if you're comfortable, 45 if you're really trying to accentuate your fitness level and your muscle tone. So exercise, hydrate, meditate, or find time for stillness. And then if you take vitamins, and subscribe to vitamins and supplements, please do that as a reminder to enhance your health from the inside out. Also, eating clean will help in that goal as well. All right, I am the organizer advisor. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes and shares and your comments on my channel. I don't monetize this page, the YouTube channel or the Facebook page. This is all part of my mission to be of service, to give back, to help others find joy, cultivate joy, and truly create a life they are in love with. There's no better feeling. So it's my mission in service to you, and whatever interaction you have on either platform helps the algorithms to get these messages out, these ideas out to more people to help them enhance their happiness and transform their lives. I'm the organizer advisor signing off, loving every one of you. Thank you so much. Until tomorrow.